Hi Crafty friend, it's me, Justine at Work from Stationery by Justine, where when I craft my world stands still. Today we're going to demonstrate how to use the swinging die, and Spellbinders has several of these dies. I've used them for I think about 3 or 4 years now. I think my first one was a bunny on a swing and it was really cute, and this little baby will be just as cute. So first, before I get into the swinging mechanism and all of the little bits and bobs about it, I will go ahead and glimmer my sentiment and my background. And I'm using, for the very first time, a glimmered piece that I'm going to use a 3D embossing folder on. So I am super excited. It's going to be the first time I've ever done it, so we'll see how it turns out. Right now I'm doing a voiceover, and spoiler alert, I'll tell you it turns out really cool. So stay tuned, and then at the end I'll show you how to assemble the swinging die. It's very simple. All you need is a little foam. So I'm going to start by glimmering my sentiments. Now, the sentiments from the Little Smiles collection, which is everything I'm using in this video, are really great sentiments because they are foil or press once and cut once. So you're going to use one piece of foil, one piece of paper, use your time just once to glimmer. And I'm just showing here, I'm putting it through the machine this direction and not the other way because it will create speed bumps if I go this way. So if I go this way, the lines will not be bumpy. All right, my platinum is ready. Here we go. Back to what I was saying about the Little Smiles collection. It's all about babies and it's just adorable. So there is a baby die, there's elephants, there's monkeys. It's just kind of really fun and playful, and it has this very fun background. Now this background is not exclusive for babies. It's called Falling Stars. You can press it or glimmer it, and then after you do that, you take this 3D embossing folder and then you emboss stars onto it. And the stars are not perfectly lined up with the pressing or foiling. They are offset, and it creates such a cool background, and I'm so excited to show you it. So as my glimmer kind of goes through its cycle here, I will get my background all ready to go. So I'm going to use black cardstock. The white cardstock that I had for my sentiments is the Glimmer Specialty cardstock. It's tried and true, and it has never done me wrong, so I use that all the time for sentiments. Now, my background with my black plate, or my black paper, is onyx paper. It's the now old cardstock from Spellbinders, but it foils nicely. So here is a look at my glimmered sentiments now that it has gone through my die cutting machine. Look at that. Now these sentiments are all kind of fun baby. There's also a congratulations and a happy birthday down at the bottom, but they're great for making batching birthday cards, not birthday cards, baby cards, and seems like you always need one on hand, and when you need it, you don't have it, so you might as well make it now. Alright, I've run the glimmer plate through, or my BetterPress plate, with this glimmered background. I didn't repeat that process since it's exactly the same as my sentiment, but take a look at this peel and reveal. It is so satisfying to see the shiny stars. Oh my, isn't that cool? Now just wait till I put the embossing folder with it. Do you see it? Isn't that cool? Lots of dimension, lots of sparkle, super cute. So now I'm going to put the little scene together. I chose to have a baby in a basket. She's kind of flying, or she or he, whoever, is flying in this little hot air balloon style basket with no diaper or anything. It's just a baby as they come in the nude. Anyway, I'm going to assemble this star. This is going to be like the balloon part of the hot air balloon style. I just showed that little die there. Spellbinders has been making these little dies that's perfect for putting behind eyeballs or rosy cheeks. I just use a strip of paper, but you know, to each their own. I do like having these craft stacks holding all my little die cut pieces together. I find that to be super helpful, and I do use my I use a lot of die cutting machines, but you might have just noticed I had my Sidekick going there. Sometimes I'll use my Scout, sometimes I'll grab my Sidekick, whatever it happens to be that day. I just needed something real quick, so I grabbed my Sidekick. But anyway, this is a night sky, so my little star is going to have a little nightcap on. I just die cut it out in white. I thought it would be kind of cute if it looked similar to a cloud. At least that's what I was going for. And then for this, the eyes, I just drew on with black Copic marker for the eyes because I did not feel like die cutting out a separate piece with black cardstock when the pink was already die cut out. So why do it twice if you don't need to? Anyway, this little decoration on the basket is just darling. I'm going to add these stars that I die cut out with some glitter gold paper. I love glitter cardstock. It's my favorite, and I put the smallest star in the center and then the medium size on the edges. The large ones I will scatter around the sky in just a bit. So my little baby is going to be swinging on that blue rectangle, and I am just going to lay out how I want my clouds to look first before I add my swinging little baby in the basket. Just a side note, the rectangle die that I used there is the Perfect Touch Rectangles and Tags die. I have been reaching for that die set so much, probably because it's been out on my desk and in my nesting dies basket, but it's such a good shape. I just keep reaching for it, and the pattern is really simple on the edge, and it just coordinates with so many different styles of cards that I've been making recently. So if you don't have a rectangle die in your stash already, I recommend getting one because it can make these really cool layers to your cards. You might see some glimmer oops on the back of that cardstock. That was from a project about a year ago, and it just didn't glimmer very well, so now that blue went into my scrap bin, and here I am using it on this card today. Okay, now that I trimmed off the edges of my clouds, once again, I'm just going to line up my baby basket with the balloon, and I always forget to leave room for a sentiment, but on this card, my sentiment's going to be kind of sneaky, so I am going to put it behind the baby. So for this panel, we're going to go ahead and pop it up with some foam. Now I have this extra foam that is super chunky, and I just really want this to be stable. Because of the swinging basket with the baby, I don't want it to interfere with the background of the stars. I do find that if you are new to making swinging dies, be careful with what you put on the background. I might not even recommend adding those cloud dies if you are not a good gluer. Make sure that you glue down anything that will be behind the swinging element as best as you can because it can interfere with the swinging. Now, I have these foam dots from Spellbinders. They're rectangles. You can see it doesn't swing very well because it's a square and the hole is a circle. So I'm just going to take the little foam dot, cut it in half, and then that will go in the center there. So it is smaller and it will swing. Then I'm going to put foam on the top part, and that little circle will go behind, basically in the center of my star. And that little swinging of the rope hanging down just lands there on the little piece of foam, and it does not get glued. This is the movement to the swinging element. And I did modify it a little bit by adding a little bit of some foam behind the top part of the star because the top part of the star was not on the blue platform. Perfect. Now I will go ahead and add my baby on, and I'm just going to tuck these little ropes in just a little bit so it looks kind of cutesy. That's just my preference. And I will move it off to the side just so it does not stick, and there it is, a swinging little baby in a basket. How adorable. Now for my background, I need to add still my sentiment and the nightcap and some stars. So I am going to do a sneaky sentiment, which is kind of fun. The sentiment is going to go in the inside of the card, but also behind the baby, because there is quite a lot of room behind the baby on the basket. So why not? And like I showed you in the beginning, this set makes so many different sentiments, so I chose to do 2 sentiments. And I'll add on the stars, and that is it for this card. Now, if you have another swinging die from Spellbinders, it's the exact same process. Whatever has that hole that will be the swinging element, add a piece of foam in the center. Keep it moving, free of other die cuts so it doesn't get stuck, and that is it. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and we will see you in my next video. Bye, crafty friend.